All right, let's begin. Hi, my name is Niiamah Ashong, and right now, what's been flowing through me has been this element of being able to be yourself as you have to come and show yourselves in different mediums and in ways that you wouldn't normally have done. At the time of this recording, we are in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. And for a number of us, that involves us changing the way that people usually get a chance to see us, changing a way, changing the mediums and the venues where we show up. For one of the most easier examples is going from showing up in person in like a workplace to working remotely, or showing up in person when you're meeting new clients or new prospects. So the way that you're delivering your services is shifting, as well as the way that you're bringing new people into your business. Um, and there's that context of a shift in how we're showing up. There's also the context of the shift in terms of what people are ready for, and how to actually meet people where they are. So I've noticed for myself a shift in context. I was launching a program, and that the way that the approach that I was going to go with that program launch feels completely not inappropriate, not completely inappropriate, but it doesn't feel like it's the approach that would really be serving during this time. As well as I'm going to just continue on here with some of the things, just kind of keep this concrete here. Um, just in the topics that I'm talking about. And what's been really interesting has been during this time of change, there's been one place in particular that feels really important for me in particular, given our tribe of trailblazers, of outliers, of change leaders to speak to, which is really around the element of lead and change. And I talk about lead and change versus I think there's like three ways to be in the change right now. This goes beyond just the time of COVID-19. This goes into, I think we're in a change cycle. Like we're in that part, like the time that we are on this earth is in the midst of a change cycle, and that change will continue on. Right. And so we can react to the change and kind of have it happen to us. We can react like through the change, right? And lead through the change. So while there's while there's change that's taking place with us, how can we kind of continue moving forward as we are? For me, I think about that when it comes to my business here. It's like I have weekly content that goes out. We're having podcast conversations where I'm coaching people, and I'm shifting what I'm doing to allow that to still take place. And we're bringing in some of that context. Even this right now is me leading through that in a little bit. But then there's a third level of this here, which not everyone is going to do. But when I think about you trailblazers, you change leaders, you activists, you entrepreneurs out there, like that element is leading change. It's leading the change. We're in this space right now, and there's what we do, how we show up, can actually navigate and shift the way that the change takes place. Um, and so with that, it's caused me to have to show up differently, not as someone who's just, how do I continue moving on in the business, but really as someone that's like, how do I show up as a leader for people during this time? And that's been a really interesting been really interesting. It's been very confronting. What I don't want you to know about me is that for the last week, I've been silently chastising myself for not coming online faster or reaching out to my community earlier, and so on and so forth. And by the time you watch this here, this might all be behind us, but I want to make sure that I'm expressing what's real for me in this moment here, because there will continue to be change later, and I don't want to miss the reality of this here for you and for myself and for others going forward. And so I've been chastising myself for how it feels like I'm not showing up. And I think the part of the reason there is I'm still present in different ways, but it's been a really interesting thing to figure out how do I show up now. For me, what I found is that, and it's really just kind of started opening up again in the last 2 days, but my my approach to it has been to leaning into just getting onto video, like, and hidden record live, and just leaning into it and showing up messy, showing up incomplete. There's a post out there right now on Facebook that was just a start of like, hey, I want you to come to something on this day at this time. No other information on it, but it was like, if I didn't get that out in the world, it wouldn't I wouldn't have been able to actually still show up with people. So I'm experimenting with that right now, myself, and I bring this into, as you think about your leadership, where are areas where you can just show up, and what are the areas that are actually challenging to you around showing up? Where are areas that make you feel that you're supposed to? It's almost like a projection of how you're supposed to be. That's probably one of the bigger things that was keeping me trapped. It was like, oh, as a leader, I have to write this immense COVID-19 like email. It's like, in times of change, and then like this long like paragraph thing, and I have to come in, I have to be like, like everything's happening. There's so much going on right now that everything I need to say has to pack that punch, and if it doesn't have a wallop behind it, what am I even doing? Having the conversation, and also with it, it was not. There was a brief period of time of who am I to lead, and then I realized, I'm like, who am I not to? Like, this is what this is all about. But then there was also a period of, is the stuff that the ways that I lead people, is that relevant right now? And there was I'm bringing up some of these things here because you're still seeing me out in the world. You're still seeing me go and move forward, and I want to make sure that as you're seeing some of the outer stuff, I'm sharing what's happening on my own inner journey as well. And so even with all this here, there's still output that's coming out. And I want to make sure that I'm with you on this journey. So my invitation to you is to really just ask yourself the question here. How do I show up as a change leader in times of change, such that I am leading the change as opposed to just leading through the change? This is our opportunity to make something happen.
We're just getting started. Click on the link below to watch the full conversation, and go to niiamahashong.com/tribe to get additional resources and exclusive invitation to tribe-only events. Journey on. Heyo, Niiamah here. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and then go ahead and leave one of your insights from today's video in the comments below. If you're looking to take this deeper, you can go and watch another video, or you can go to niiamah.com/tribe to get exclusive invitation to our tribe member only events. I'll see you soon.